Before there were cigarettes, before there were brands, there was the leaf. Tobacco is one of the oldest forms of spirit communication known to humanity. Long before modern times, it was understood as a living messenger, a way for human intention to travel beyond the visible world and return with meaning. In the oldest traditions, tobacco was never a habit. It was a bridge, not something used to escape life, but something used to speak with it. Our ancestors knew breath as spirit itself, and smoke was breath-given form. When the leaf touched fire, it awakened. When guided by breath, it carried thought into the unseen. In that moment, intention became vapor, and prayer learned how to rise. It was never about getting high. It was about clarity, connection, making the invisible visible. That's the memory the leaf still carries. Radio cigars.
Radio cigar. Radio cigar. Radio cigar. Radio cigar. Cigar. Radio cigar. Radio cigar.
All right. We are now in the building with the one, the only Dr. B. Sirius. Welcome back, my brother.
Yes, my brother. It's an honor to be here, man.
Indeed.
Wow.
Yo, I want to let me because I didn't post this yet. Elder has sent me some information on the nicotine in the cigars. I just wanted to run it by you. I thought it was pretty intriguing. Let me just run it by you before we start the show, Dr. B. You ready?
Yes.
Check this out. I'm gonna put this in the envelope for the people who donate. But check this out, Dr. B. Ancestral message. This cigar, Brother Rich, is a small ritual if you let it be. Before you light it, pause and set an intention. In ancient spiritual logic, intention was not considered an abstract thought trapped in the mind. It was treated as a subtle force that could be shaped, carried, and delivered. Breath, which is intention in motion, is the first step in that process. When a person focused their will and exhaled deliberately, that intention was believed to leave the interior world and enter the outer one. Tobacco added density to this act. It gave breath, weight, texture, and visibility, allowing intention to cross the threshold from thought into form. That's why, Brother Rich, rituals emphasize blowing smoke rather than inhaling. Fire is the first catalyst that transforms the plant into a carrier. When tobacco meets the flame, it is not simply burned, it is awakened. Fire converts the plant material body into smoke, a substance that is neither solid nor empty. Your breath and moisture, Brother Rich, give the smoke vapor-like behavior, which occupies a liminal state, hovering between matter and absence. In this in-between condition, it was believed to be readable by spirits, ancestors, and forces that do not interact with dense physical forms. Intention, once fused with fire, entered this liminal state. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. This liminal state as well. The human exhale shaped the smoke, directing it outward with purpose. In ritual context, people spoke prayers, names, or commands into the smoke because sound and breath were thought to impress structure onto the vapor. The smoke did not merely rise randomly, it carried the pattern of the speaker's will. In this sense, intention was not imagined but impressed, written in the air as movement, temperature, and direction. This is why, Brother Rich, intention has to be utmost clear before the tobacco is lit. In old traditions, this moment was called communication. not because smoke is magic, but because intention crossing into the world was believed to be heard. Watch how the smoke responds to calm or restlessness, how it coils and rises when you slow down. What lifts is not just smoke, Brother Rich. It's a message carried by breath and fire. Take your time with it. Woo! Take your time, do it right. Oh, that's some profound shit. Thank you, Elder. I'm gonna put this as a note for everybody. Oh, that Dr. B. I don't know if anybody could have summed it up better than that, Dr. B.
Yeah, that was quite a sum up right there.
Shit. Damn.
Wow.
He said the spirits, it's easy for them to interact with the vapor. That state that it's in, the vapor is like a state that they can interact with easier than the dense physical state. So when we fuse it, yo, shit was profound, man.
Well, that's why, it was a tradition to have things like incense and sweetgrass and things like that on our altar, because an altar is a place that you create that's in between this world and the other. It's the other world. It's an altar. It alters your state. So energetics that have crossed into that next world can communicate through vapor, through smoke. You see, through the energy. See, smoke can travel through other dimensions.
Yeah.
You see, depending on what's in the smoke and what the smoke is made of. So it always has been a way for us to commune on a spiritual level and an energetic level with other beings. And by if you're using 100% organic natural tobacco or something like that, you basically are becoming an altar.
Human altar.
Yes.
Yeah, it's profound, man. Good to have you back on here, Doc.
It's great to be on.
Good way to start the show. How's everything been for you this year so far, my brother?
Well, it's been really challenging. My sister made her transition, which was deep because she has been one of my greatest, inspirations. Even, writing this book and everything that about Dr. B has always been, fueled by my sister, her ideas, and she's a traveler by trade. She's been everywhere and she's done everything to help a lot of people. So her making her transition has been challenging, but we now know that she's in university. You go from high school earth to university, and now you can, commune on other levels. So she's here with me and us on so many levels, along with all of those who have crossed over into the next realm. Energy just changes form. It doesn't die. It can't be born. It's everywhere.
Indeed. No, indeed. Oh, yeah. Once again, my condolences, and, may she rise in power, Dr. B.
She is and she has.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got a great conversation tonight. This topic was inspired by this book that you got coming out. I know you're going to talk about it. I'm excited about it. The people's excited about it. And some very interesting chapters you got in the book. And I got a chance to take a look at it a little bit. And I said, I want to talk about aura and aura wars. And, they say attention is a new currency. And we see more than ever now, Dr. B, how much they are trying to get everyone's attention via social media, just pretty much what's in the news, all of that. And I think, Dr. B, this concept that me and you talk about, what you mentioned in the book, it's very hard for a person to understand that energetically they are money, they are the currency. Because if people believed it, and I know some people heard it, but it's one thing to know something intellectually and to really believe it, because everybody would hide their ATM passcode when they're entering their passcode to get money. But we don't hide and we don't protect our energetic space the same way we protect our bank cards. We protect our bank cards more than we protect our energetic space. And that lets me know that no matter how intellectual you say you are, your body movement and your actions show me who you're loyal to. You're loyal to the world's form of currency, which is a form of currency, but you're not loyal to your form because you will be more protective over your personal space. So I'm glad to have this conversation because our aura is everything. Our electromagnetic field is everything, Dr. B. And the last thing I want to say before you start, brother, is that I'm pretty much spiritually militant and I do a great job protecting my personal space. And I was just a little confused and I didn't know whether to be disappointed in myself or not, Dr. B, or I don't know what other word to use at this time, how to articulate myself. I felt maybe I should be more vocal with the whole Epstein release. We never seen nothing like that. And this is a turning point in the world from the old world to the new world. And I'm not sure if falling back is the right, even though, we've warned people and talked about this for years, but I was just a little confused on how to react to what's going on in the news with that because of how big it is. So this is the perfect topic because I'm all about my aura and I'm very spiritually militant in terms of protecting my aura. And that's why I've been so successful. One last thing, when I do a show, I barely even talk on the phone because I don't want outside interference from my own personal thoughts when I do shows. So this is how I'm able to tap in. So perfect show for the perfect times. A lot of people confused, including myself to a certain extent. Dr. B got a new book. The floor is yours, my brother. Let's get this thing going tonight.
The mass distraction. I don't know if it's ever been so strong. And it's not that it hasn't been happening. It's that we're recognizing it and seeing it in our faces more than ever. And this mass distraction has been pulling people and fragmenting them because we've got these machines, we've got these devices that are telling us what to think, what to feel, what to say, how to choose, how to vote, who to be. And this is of deep time because it's not that someone is doing it to us. We're allowing it. We're allowing these things to happen. And if you listen to most people, their talk is about what's happening. My question is, how do you know that's actually happening? How do you know that what they're saying is an actual fact, or is it a news story, or something to get you to look to the left when you need to be looking to the right, or being yourself while you're being somebody else, which you're being nosy because the average person is minding somebody else's business. Until we begin to mind our business and business our minds, which I've been saying for years, we will be sucked into somebody else's universe. The aura is a very special concept. And the way it was taught to me was that awe, or AU, has to do with gold. It also has to do with being an orator or sound or the word or the music. The first note of music used to be aura or ura, which was the first feminine music note that all other notes were birthed from. The aura is a golden like energy. I don't mean the color gold. I mean the energetics of gold, because gold is a great, it is a great conductor of electricity. But our aura has to do with our life force energy in movement, because Ra has to do with movement. So the auric field around us is our golden life force energy in movement. But a lot of what we've been looking at and what we've been following and what we've been believing, what we've been going along with, fractures the aura. The average person, even the person that's supposed to be conscious and has done all the reading, most people, when I see them, I see holes in their auras because I can look right at a person and see their aura. I can see it. It's not a thing of I went to school to learn how to do it. This has been since I was a child. I know already if a person is wide open. And some people think that they have a fractured aura, or they're not on their goal, or they're not doing what they should be doing when actually they are. This is a really deep thing today, because a lot of folks, they just don't know unless somebody else tells them. They don't know unless AI tells them, Google tells them, the neighbor tells them, their friends tell them, or the group that they happen to be a part of tells them who to be, when actually we are already fully capable of being everything at once. It's all happening. But if we continue to be fragmented, to get fragged, when you get fragged, and I think in the military is when, you get, there's an explosion, and, you get some of those particles that hit you in pieces, fragments of the bomb. We're getting fragged if we allow ourselves to be in the space where the implosions are happening. What is the implosion? What is an implosion? See, there's an explosion, and there's an implosion. An implosion is a case where if you are not doing and being yourself, or finding or creating, or expressing your original self, then you stay in this place where you don't grow. If you don't grow, what happens? What happens if you don't change? What happens if that tree doesn't grow new leaves and new branches every spring? It goes through entropy. So if you're not changing and growing and moving, and you're staying stuck, and you're letting yourself be bombarded, and letting your auric field, your golden life force, be torn apart by other people's ideas, other people's feelings, other people's stuff, you get haunted. The average person is haunted. The average person is being eaten alive. I don't care how many books you read and how many words you know that sound real deep. People know all this knowledge, but the average person is still being eaten alive and don't even realize that some of the things that they're teaching and talking about was given to them by the enemy. So it's the fractionation, it's the fragmenting, it's the brokenness where we're changing too much. It's moving too fast, man. Technology, it will eat you alive. It can be a parasite. It can also be a great tool. But what about you? What do you really feel? Now I find that a lot of folks, they don't do anything without asking AI what to do. They don't do anything without asking their friend or their neighbors what they should do. But there is an original genius in each of us. Each person's auric field, each person's DNA, each person's genealogy, and their makeup is totally unique. You can't tell me what spirituality means to me. I don't even know what you mean by spirituality. You hear it all the time. I'm spiritual. I'm spiritual. What does spiritual mean? Spiritual means to be spiritual and constantly growing and expanding and doing something new, expressing something new, being somebody new. That means that the person I was last time I was on your show, brother, I'm not that person anymore. I've changed. Some of the things I said, I don't even agree with anymore. Well, Dr. B, a couple of years ago you said, and I said, I may have said that then because that was the energy that was flowing through my auric field. That was my connection to the cosmos at that time. But the whole cosmos has changed. The whole thing has changed. If you look at the moon, you see it's in a different position. The sun looks different. The North Pole is not necessarily the North Pole anymore. The magnetic North Pole, the physical North Pole, and the North Pole. What are you talking about? But the Earth is spinning differently. We're going through a great transition, especially in 2026. See, 2025 was deep enough. But 2026, in February, we start riding what we call the fire horse in the Chinese calendar. What the heck is that? Well, we're already on a horse racing. We're moving through time and space. But the fire means that it's hot. That means that we're moving extra fast. That's like the quickening on a quantum level. So what does that mean, Dr. B? That means you got to get your shit together now. You got to figure out what you're going to do. You got to hunker down with some people that you really know. And half the people that you think you know, you don't know. Half the situations that you think you know about, you don't know about. Most of the stories that you have received were not, they were stories. These stories and more is what they say on the news. That means they don't have to be true. Somebody said, well, Dr. B, when are you going to go to the Nile River? I was there not too long ago. It's the Mississippi. What are you talking about, Dr. B? Yes, well, this is Egypt. That is too, but there's more than what we know about time. Because there's been many great resets. What about you? Are you ready to reset? Are you ready to change? And in order to do that, you got to figure out what's eating you, what's sucking your energy, what's putting holes in your aura, what's bleeding you. Is it your huge ego and your conscious mind? Because you think that you got your conscious clothing, your conscious eating, your conscious hairdo, and you feel like consciousness is it. Consciousness is not all of it. Everybody's conscious. Are you conscientious? Are you aware, totally aware that today is not tomorrow and not yesterday? That's the question. We must find out who we are. What is our gene key right now? The planet right now is in gene key 55. That means we're going from the nymph, which is the baby, the larva version of the dragonfly, into the dragonfly. What does that mean? Well, we got to get out of the water, the swamp, with the victims, the victimhood and all that stuff is where it was about survival. We're now moving into a place where we're going to need to learn to fly. But first, we got to pump the swampy water of our past into our wings so that we can fly. For the last 7 years, have been working on this book. You've been hearing me talk about it. I'm writing a book. I didn't realize that the book was writing me and that I was breaking some spells. The spells had to do with how my brain as a child was programmed. The average adult lives life as an adult based on the conclusions and ideas of a child. The average adult lives life as an adult based on the conclusions and ideas of a child. You might feel like you've grown up. No, the root part of you that created your auric field is the child. I was told some things as a child that really affected me, and I didn't realize how deeply it affected me because I figured I got it together. I'm working on that stuff. They told me I was dyslexic. They told me I was unteachable. I would never be a literary type person. I was going to never be able to go to college. I taught college. I'm a teacher. They said I'm dyslexic. Yes, that's why I talk like I talk and I act like I am, because everything is backwards anyway. See, we're going with the ideas that came from the Europeans, and they told us what was left and what was right and what was up and what was down, what was back and what was forth, how to look at a book, how to read words based on English, which is an English, which is an angle, which is a language that was created for trade. This was created for trade and war. This may not be your original tongue. So we're speaking in a tongue, right, that doesn't even go along with your vibration, your frequency. So we have an ancient language deep down inside of us. Your mitochondria, right, deep down inside of you, there's a divinity code. There's a divine code that connects you directly to source, and it's never been touched. There's no disease there. There's no problem there. There's no trauma there. And sometimes we're able to tap into it when we're awake, but a lot of times we tap into it when we're sleeping. When you shut off that brain, that cranial brain, which is going, and thinking. And you think that intelligence is really important, but intelligence is information from the past. And information from the past can't be used totally in the future or in the moment, because it's a totally new moment, because there's a brand new blueprint happening in every moment. Every moment is changing. So the right now, this right nowness that we're in, this to nowness that we're in, has never happened before. Well, I have never been on this version of the show before. You who are listening have never been this particular person before. But as I was writing this book, I was fighting, right, the opposition inside of me. I was fighting my saboteur. The saboteur is there to protect you. You created all these versions of the saboteur as you were raised, as you were brought up, and you were brought up in a system that was based on what? Oppression. So that is the world. That's like the water that you put your tea in. The water has already got an energy field in it. This liquidic space, this fluidic space already has ingredients in it. Now you've got to figure out, how are you going to make it and do your best with what you have, being brought up in a world full of opposition. Because a person that's been through opposition for a long, long period of time becomes an oppressor to themselves sometimes. Sometimes we just suppress ourselves. I realized I was suppressing myself with all this knowledge, all these books I've read, all these classes, all these workshops, but I was suppressing. And writing of this book was me expressing and getting it all out. I wrote this book. This book wrote me because it had never been written before. The words, the way they came about, the stories. This is a combination of a drama. It's a science book. It's a resource guide. There's information in here that has never been put on paper before. I didn't realize what I was writing while I was writing it. I was just expressing, going into my auric field and picking up the messages that were given to me that started in 1996 about parasites. The book is about you breaking free from mental, physical, and energetic parasites. All of us. Mental parasites, thought forms, ideas that eat us alive, things from the past, beliefs that we have, issues that we have with our parents and families, and things that we went through in the past are supposed to be gone, but they're still present in our brain and our mindset. So they devour you like hungry ghosts. They eat you. They haunt you. Physical parasites, the bugs. I keep hearing about, well, Dr. B, I did get a parasite cleanse the other day. I just did a parasite cleanse. And I said, well, what did you do? And they always tell me the same thing. Well, black walnut, they did diatomaceous earth, they did cloves, they did, pumpkin seeds, diatomaceous. It's a bunch of things that you could do for your colon parasites. That's good. That is very good. Congratulations. Do you know about systemic parasites and what they are? And how many different levels? There are parasites that live in your auric field around your body, energetic parasites. And you could do all the sage and all the special baths and all this stuff. And this stuff is so advanced that you might not even put a dent in it. So the information that started coming through about different levels of parasites, systemic parasites are the deepest thing on the planet. They control everything. The way you think is being controlled by a group of biological entities, extraterrestrial biological entities, EBs. You're talking about the aliens coming to land. What about the aliens around you in your life force, right in the room around you right now that you can't see and feel because you don't have the sensitivity or you don't have the spectrum to be able to tap into them? I was talking to a brother, and I don't want to say his name. He's one of the conscious leaders. And as I was talking to him, I kept seeing these things moving around him. And he was talking. He had a deep voice, he's very, very deep with his words and he has a lot of knowledge, but he was eaten alive. And I asked him, I said, hey, man, are you okay? No, I'm okay, man. What are you talking about, man? I do all my meditations. I've been fasting. I said, well, your grandmother's trying to talk to you. He says, what do you mean? I don't even know my grandmother. So you don't have to know her. She's trying to talk to you, trying to tell you something, but you can't hear. You can't hear because you got marbles in your head. You're so focused on what you're trying to project to people and what you're trying to prove to people that you can't hear it. So a lot of us can't hear the message from the ancestors. We're listening to the ancestors. What is the ancestors? Automatic negative thoughts. Ants eating us alive because we're putting on this armor many times, this armor to cover up what we don't have or what we don't know we have. So we're searching for more knowledge, more information. We're looking for the pyramids. The pyramid is representation of you. That's what they are. All these things in the world are representations of ourselves. But until you tap into the levels of systemic parasites, energies and entities that use you as a host, things that use your energy, your resources, things that use you to travel from one place to another. And you know, Brother Rich, I don't know if you read the chapter in the book about the linguistic parasites. One of the most powerful parasites on the planet is called the linguistic parasite. What does a parasite do? It uses you as a host. A whole lot of words that you're using and saying may not mean what you think they mean. You may be repeating yourself over and over and over when nature never repeats itself. And it's using your energetic field. It uses you as an entity to live in. Your words. And your words have power. They do matter. Words do materialize because your thoughts are waves, and the waves begin to cast into the quantum field. And the more times you cast your rod, you cast your net into the quantum wave or into the quantum field, you are going to now cause those particles to condense down into something material. You are what you think. You are what you say. You are what you eat. And some of what you eating is eating you too. Even some of this health food. Some folks feel like they're in health and wellness. I said, well, actually, you're in wealth and hellness. I heard that, you know, this particular herb does that. That herb, it has to be from one particular place on the planet for it to really do that. If it's in soil that's deficient, if it's in a place that doesn't have the same amount of sunlight, it's not the same. But we keep thinking that, oh, dandelion is the same. No, there's different types and different places and different energies of dandelion. And every other herb. So we've got to be careful what we're seeking and who we are, because it's changing at every moment. But it's the systemic parasites, y'all. And I keep saying this over and over and over. You think because you take herbs, you're a vegan or you're a vegetarian or a breatharian or whatever you are, that you got this. But guess what? If the planet, the mindset of most people who are connected unconsciously, the unconscious collective, the subconscious collective energies are causing people to be corralled and think basically almost the same. So we agree that this is what it is. We agree that up is up and down is down. How could there be an up if we're living on a ball? Some people say, well, we're not living on a ball, Doc. It's the flat earth. Okay, well, let's say it's flat. Whatever it is, there are entities and energies that use us, and we've got to learn how to break the spell. So when I was writing this book, I was breaking spells of my own parasites. Not just the physical ones, the energetic ones, the ones that are cosmic, the ones that travel. I talk about aliens in this book in a whole other kind of way. People say, well, you know, you got anything about aliens? There's a lot about aliens in the book. There's a lot about life forces, things I've seen, things I've experienced, mysterious situations that have happened to Dr. B. What happened, Dr. B? Something did happen. I've had several experiences, out of body, near death, crossover, comeback. I'm here to share these experiences and express them with people who are ready to hear it. And check it out. Do you know that you can write words in a book or even speak words in a certain order, and the way you're using the words creates an outcome that sounds like you're saying one thing, but actually you're saying something else? So, you know, one of my things is I am a psychological kinesiologist, and psychological kinesiologist has to do with muscle testing and energy fields and the body work that is based on your thinking. So I wrote this book using a special type of subconscious alignment protocol. So throughout the book, there's these words that I say, and you say, what did he say? I'm creating what's called a language syntax, which rewrites the code. It wakes up the original entity, the original self. Just reading the book. You can open the book to any page and just read any page. And that may be the page for you today. So when we start dealing with the language, the linguistic parasite, and using this quantum field language, everything changes. What are you really saying? Some people are listening to me right now, and not everybody's hearing exactly what I'm saying. There might be, hundreds of people here right now listening who are all hearing something different. I'm saying is that we now have a resource guide. We now have a book that has never been written. Everything from the cover, the colors, every word in it is put together in a way to help break us away from what has been eating us. It's not just the physical parasites. It's not just the mental ones. It's the ones in your auric field. It's your friends. We talk about that too. You got a lot of friends and family that are parasitic.
Dr. B, real quick, is there a link to purchase the book now?
Yes, go to elevationtime.com, elevationtime.com. The book, by the way, I didn't tell you. The book is officially out today. Officially, the book is out. Go to elevationtime.com. That's the easiest way.
Yeah, King Simon posted the link in the chat, family. You can go to www.elevationtime.com. Started reading it. Awesome book. I really like that chapter on linguistic parasites. I think that was something that you don't have. There's not a lot of information like that on the internet. So I want to give you a shout out for that. And yeah, I'm still reading. So yeah, but go ahead, my brother.
Now, we've been talking about music because that's how you and I met. It's about music, right?
Yep.
So this book has a soundtrack. There are many options. You can buy the book by itself. You can buy the book plus the audiobook. The audiobook will be ready in about 2 days. And you can also buy the soundtrack. It's 22 songs. Some of them are 17, 18 minutes long. 22. There's 7 hours of subconscious alignment medicine music. Most of it's tuned to 432, 528, 417, and a whole host of solfeggio frequencies, along with nature sounds that are tuned. And these are not some digitally created nature sounds. We went out in nature and recorded these things with, very high definition microphones. Even the music is recorded in high definition. Because, most of what we listen to today is these MP3s, and it's compressed. And that's okay because you can get a lot of songs in a small space. But if you'd like to get the project in high definition, you can do that too. So the soundtrack, as you read the book, takes you into a whole world, a whole odyssey. It's a whole mental, physical, spiritual, energetic experience that you've never had before. Somebody was listening to the music the other day. They said, man, this is like mushrooms, man. Were you high on mushrooms when you made this? I said, man, we are mushrooms, and you don't have to get high on mushrooms. The only thing you're doing is an awakening the part of you that was dormant. We are basically mushrooms. But yes, the music is like taking a lot of the plant teachers, reading the book and listening to the music is like going on a plant teacher trip. It's deep the way, and I keep saying, I wrote a book. Actually, the book wrote me. I just allowed myself to let go of some of the things that from my childhood that were holding me back and holding me black, holding me down, eating me, absorbing me, sucking my energy. You've only seen, right? Only possibly maybe 10% of Dr. B and what Dr. B actually could do. But my own self-suppression, my own saboteur has kept me in limitation. Just do a little bit. Don't speak too loud. Don't do too much. We heard a lot of stuff about, who we should be as children. No, it's over now because I finally broke the spell. When I finished this book, it was, it was 2:22 in the morning. The numbers and everything, there's 22 chapters. It was all about ones and twos and 111s and 222s. And this thing is, Somebody said, well, Dr. B, how'd you come up with this cover? Look at it. Look at one side of it. You see the word wheat. Wheat. Why you put that there? You'll find out in the book what this wheat that we're eating or is eating us. Did you know that modern day wheat is a parasite?
No.
Modern day wheat has been crossbred, hybridized, and played with so much that it actually absorbs your life force. That's why it's high in gluten.
Man.
Gluten is a type of parasite that sucks your life force out. And we eat bread with everything. Even when we become vegans, we got the sourdough bread and this bread. We're not eating one of the original breads. We're not eating the original wheat. Some of us are, if you know what they are. We're using what we call hard winter wheat. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, hard winter wheat. Did you know there's a soft winter wheat that has very little gluten? Yeah, somebody put it in here. Einkorn, one of the original grains. You can buy it now in the grocery stores. They got it. But people don't buy it because they don't know it. Plus the bag is small. You want the huge bag that's on sale for, you know what I'm saying? For $9.99, you can make 1,000 pizzas and 20 loaves of bread. This little one, the small one, is compact because it's full of energy and life force. You can feel it in the bag as you pour it out. This is why in a lot of other countries across the seas, they eat bread all day and they don't have the health problems that we have. They don't gain the weight because everything about this system that we live in was meant to suck the life force out of you, mentally, physically, musically, everything, your fabrics. And it's always the cheap stuff. It's on sale. You want it on sale because you don't feel like you're worthy enough. You feel like you're lacking limitation and you're living in not enoughness. You don't feel like you're ever going to be here long enough and have enough to be able to afford wealth. So you don't feel wealthy. You don't feel rich. Now, Brother Rich can't help it because, you know, he's rich. You know what I'm saying? His name makes him rich. So he has to be wealthy. Imagine Brother Rich if he wasn't rich. He's poor. His name is Brother Rich, but he's poor. That means that he would have imposter syndrome. A lot of folks have imposter syndrome. They think that, you know what I'm saying? They think they're broken, poor, they don't have anything, they're not smart. They just go along to get along. They're there to help everybody else. And, you know, they help everybody in the world. They got, you know, chronic servitude syndrome. That is all parasitic energies. The planet, check it out. This planet was taken by some beings many years ago, and they turned it into a slave planet. Even the people that you think are wealthy and in power are actually slaves.
Shit, Epstein shows that. The Epstein files show that.
Epstein ain't shit. That's just in the news. They putting that up for you purposely. Look at this. Look at what happened. Look at what they're doing to the children. Look what they're doing to what they did to these girls. This stuff is going on every day. It's in every place in our society. It's just that he got caught. No, well, they caught him. It's a difference between he got caught and they caught him. They use certain entities or certain people to put up in front of you so you'll focus on that and how bad it is. So just imagine there's an opposite to Epstein. There's an opposite to everything because everything is connected to its polar opposite. Everything. You can't have up without down. You can't have Epstein without Lovestein. There's somebody else that's a great lover that they're not talking about in the news. How many good things happened today? I didn't watch the news today. So all I saw was the squirrels. You know, I was checking out the birds. I was checking out the sky. It was a little rain. It was a little misty. This is beautiful. Oh my gosh. I was looking at the clouds. Then I saw these hawks. They was flying in figure eights. Was that on the news? And what is the symbol of the hawk? When we see certain animals, what are the animals speaking to us? There's a book called Animal Speaks. What are the symbols when you see a certain animal? Our indigenous nature was to identify what that animal was saying to us. So to get back to who we are, we've got to tap into first, what has been eating me? What's been devouring me? What are you saying that's controlling you? What are you wearing that's sucking your life force out? Sugar. There's a whole section I write about sugar. And let me tell you this much, man. You've heard of the term a bone collector, right? Did you know that the sugarcane industry was so harsh? First of all, the leaves, because it's a grass, it's like a razor blade leaf grass, are so sharp that people would get cut so deep they could die. It'd be infected. It's very dangerous work. So to make it easier, and mostly it was black and brown people, of course, that was, doing this work. And they would decide to burn the sugarcane. To burn it makes it easier to harvest. They burn the whole sugarcane field. But they don't tell everybody that they're about to burn it. So some of our ancestors were caught in the burning fields. They would send a person out called the bone collector to gather the bones of the people who had been burnt to a crisp in the sugarcane. What would they do with the bones? Would they use bone black or bone char in the processing of sugar? They use the bones of animals, you see, and people to process the sugar, because blood is made partially in the bone. So, blood has a chemical affinity, which means it's attracted to bone. Blood and bone are like, they're connected. They're cousins. They like each other. So when they would process sugar, which doesn't normally crystallize like we know of it today, they would use pig's blood. And they still do. They just call it something else. The language is funny. We just changed the name of it. We call it albumin. What is albumin? Look that up. But now you got this funky, terrible, nasty pig's blood and sugar mixture mixed together. They have to filter it. So they run it through bone black or bone char, which is charred bones. And the molecules of the pig's blood sticks to the bones and it filters it out to make the sugar purified. What? Yes. Thousands of people died. More than that. The number we don't even know. In the sugarcane fields being burned alive. They use everything from animals in stock, and because they considered you stock. Sugar. And sugar has over 1,000 different, this is processed white sugar and brown sugar, processed sugar, has a domino effect. Check that out. The domino effect. Put it right in your face, right? And it causes your body to go into emergency mode. When you eat processed sugar, and there's a whole section of this in the book, it signals your body to stop making leptin. Leptin is a molecule. It's almost like a hormone made by the friendly bacteria in your gut, which travels to your brain. It signals your hypothalamus to let you know that you've had enough sugar or sweetness or what we call, glucose. The brain uses more glucose than any other part of the body. The brain uses more energy, more oxygen than any other part of the body. Your physical brain. It's always working. It's always running things. It never goes to sleep. It is very sensitive to sugar. Now, if it's a natural sugar that slowly absorbs into your bloodstream, okay, we can deal with that. The body knows what to do. But this processed small molecule they made with bone black and bone tar and, hog blood and this whole process is toxic. So the leptin is supposed to signal your hypothalamus that we've had enough of something. I'm going to go in deep right here. Your hypothalamus, which is in the top of your head, is a gland that connects your endocrine system, which is your hormonal system, to your nervous system. It's a crossover gland. That's where they come together. The hypothalamus is attempting to create balance in your body. Heat, cold, like when you get a fever, that's your hypothalamus trying to heat up to try to get rid of the offending thing, the virus or the bacteria. It's heating you up. That's what they call a temperature. It regulates temperature, it regulates everything and keeps things in homeostasis. If the hypothalamus has been affected or infected by sugar, processed sugar, it doesn't work right. Your brain goes into a type of paralysis from sugar the minute you eat it. Now, you can still think, people say, it doesn't really shut down the brain. Well, it turns down the frequency where it's just barely vibrating. So now, this leptin, which is supposed to signal the body that it's had enough of something, is so that the hypothalamus can say, well, we had enough of this. We don't need any more. We don't need any more sugar. We've had enough sweet. We've had enough food. It also is looking at, have you had enough of dealing with bullshit? Have you had enough of this conversation? Have you done too much? The hypothalamus is the part of your brain that lets you know when you've been doing too much, talking too much, not talking enough, not showing up. It shuts you down from having balance. People are out of balance because their hypothalamus is all screwed up. What else is in the brain that's going to be affected by the amount of sugar that we eat? And alcohol is a processed sugar too, most of it. Not all of it, but most of it. Your pineal. What does the pineal do? That's your first eye. It can see dimensions that you can't see. It knows about things on the event horizon before you even know it happened. It's connected directly to the gut, to the microbiome. That is your connection to the cosmos, your pineal. If you've been eating too much sugar, which most people have, even our vegans, because they become sugarcane addicts, then you don't have a connection to the cosmos. So you got to ask other people and read books about spirituality. All of a sudden, the church comes about in the early 1900s at a level where people began to follow the leader because they didn't have a connection to the true leader. They didn't have a connection to the godness. Because they began to use sugar in everything in the early 1900s because the food was so toxic in the cities. They needed to make these gravies and these soups and these ketchups and all of these glazes to try to cover up the rotten meat. We talk about it in the book. So people got hooked on sugar. And then the drug company comes along and they start making the medicines out of sugar. They take, chemicals and, petroleum products and mix it with sugar and put it in a sweet little pill. So you're disconnected on a cosmic level. The next thing is your pituitary. What does it do? It creates the love hormone, the connection hormone, oxytocin. So if you don't know love anymore, and you feel like love is going to be happening on Valentine's Day because of some candy and some hearts, that's when love is happening. And somebody loves you, they told you they love you, so you feel like you still have a real connection of love, and you don't even know what love is, most people. Love is not a supplement that can be created by you telling me that you love me. I don't even know what you mean by love. Do you know what you mean by love? What is love? Well, it's a feeling. Is it a feeling? Next time somebody say they love you, stop and say, well, what do you actually mean by that? I can tell you immediately if I say I love you, that means I mean this. I do not use this word lightly. We use it all day. And now we're kind of confused because we use the word love. Well, actually, we use the symbol of love, which is a heart. And that symbol that you use, that you call it a heart don't even look like that. Where'd that symbol come from? I'm not going to tell you on the air where that symbol comes from, the red heart. Just go back and study Romulus and Remus. Whoo, it gets deep. But when you like something on the internet, right, you like it. And when you understand what the word like has to do with crossing. They use like to help people cross into the next world when they die. They use this at cemeteries. Like is a very special word. We're not even using it correctly. We like. And sometimes what we're calling love is like a lot. See, these are words that are parasitic. So what we're calling love a lot of times is like a lot. And sometimes you love the person until you get upset, then you hate them. Well, you never truly loved them, because if it's true love, that's life organically vibrating effortlessly cannot be stopped. Anybody I ever loved, I still love if it was true love. If all of a sudden you don't love me anymore, it wasn't love in the first place. What's love got to do with it? That's the question. My point is that this society was created by and for slaves, by parasites. And most of what we're doing and how we're living is based on parasites. And who's at the root of this? The parasite called toxoplasma, which is a drone, which you're not going to get rid of with your pumpkin seeds and your parasite cleanse that you bought, and somebody told you it gets rid of all the parasites. This pisses me off, brother and sisters. You don't even know what you're talking about. This kills parasites. That's like saying we got this substance that kills all black people. It makes black people dumb. We don't even know all the black people. What is black? We don't even know what black really means. We're using the language so messed up. So we got to get back to being who we truly are, or not even get back, because we can't go back. Let's forget that. Cancel, cut, delete, and clear. We've got to become us now. We got to step into what the parasites truly are. They're entities that cannot be killed with a couple herbs. Even me, I'm using over 100 different substances in the cleanse. Oh, actually, it's about 230 something substances in my elevated total body program. It's not just herbs. There's flower essences. Which ones? There's thousands of flower essences. What do? They reconnect you to your energetic field, like your angels. Was that the same as essential oils? No, essential oils are totally different. Essential oils are a higher vibration of herbs. They have very specific things they do based on olfaction, based on smell, based on remembering a state of balance. We also use copper pots, and we're infusing them with M state, what they call monoatomic elements. We're using light and life force energy. And also I'm infusing all the products with what? Sound, frequency. I am a frequency master. I was talking to my publicist the other day, or a couple weeks ago, and she said, you're the father of frequency music. I said, what do you mean? She said, didn't you make the first frequency project in 1999? I was like, yeah, it was this project I did called Urban Shaman, me and my partner, Akadama. They said that was the first time people were using these particular frequencies like this in music, and using not just singing bowls, but also quantum rhythms, indigenous sounds and frequencies that brings the person's mind state to a place of balance. 1999. I was like, wait a minute. They said, you started a whole thing. You started this, Dr. B. I'm like, wow, I did. And maybe I don't remember anybody else doing it. But guess what? I wasn't ready to claim that. I'm ready to claim it now. In fact, Brother Rich, I got a drum that's coming out. I don't know how many of you plan to be at the event that Billy Carson and I are doing in Atlanta on the 1st of March. It's called Unlocking Divinity Codes. And this is going to be a huge event. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be live in Atlanta, because we're going to teach you all these exercises and things. It's going to be also online. So you can also go to elevationtime.com, and sign up now, because there's only 200 seats available. But the deep part about it is I will be introducing a new instrument. Brother Rich, you there? Because I need you to hear this, bro. I don't know whether you know what I'm saying? You over there using cigars right now.
Oh, my fault. I had it on mute. I'm here. You told me about the instrument. I'm definitely here though.
I have a new instrument. It's a brand new medicine drum. It's made of wood. It's made of a wood called paduk. Paduk is a tree that grows in the motherland, and the tree only lives in soil that's high in silica or like sand or glass. And the branches in the wood are made of glass. There's a tree called paduk. Please look it up. In fact, you can break off and it's like almost like hearing glass break. The wood is infused with silica, silicon crystals, silica. It vibrates at a frequency that's crazy. I decided I was going to make my drum out of this silicon wood, paduk, which is only available. It's very rare. You can't just go get it and just go down to the lumber yard. It don't work like that. So I commissioned this group of people who make these, instruments to create this drum. And I came up with a musical scale. And I put 3 different musical scales together that have never gone together before. At least I have never heard it before. This drum is called Dr. B's Medicine Drum 2, because I have a Medicine Drum 1, it's made of metal, 7 different metals. But the Medicine Drum 2 is made of this paduk wood. It has my imprint branded into it. There's nothing like it on the planet. The minute I play it, some people start crying. They can't believe it. What is that? What is it doing to me? Because there are also musical parasites. There's frequencies that are eating you alive. What this does is it taps into the space in between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, deep down, and it gets you into that space of super consciousness, so you can connect directly to the Akasha. I'm going to introduce this drum at this event on the 1st of March here in Atlanta. And I'm also going to conduct a core access experience. Some of y'all out there were at the cores that we did before. The core access experience has gone to a whole new level. It's something that actually helps go down in your subconscious basement and brings out a whole lot of the trash that's been built up over time that you don't even know is there. We don't even need to know what your problem is. So we're going to do a core access experience, and I'm going to use this new drum to help us take us into what we call the theta state, which is the state in between sleeping and awake. There are so many new things that have come about that couldn't come about before that we're bringing to the table. Somebody asked me, they said, well, Dr. B, why come you couldn't tap into this before? Because it wasn't now. The planet had to be in a certain position. You had to have a certain amount of gateways open up. And right now, I'm not really into the horoscope that deep, but I do know this whole thing about Neptune and Aries, which is coming online right now. Do y'all know about that? Between the Neptune and Aries, between Gene Key 55 and a 60-year cycle, and there's another cycle that's a 13,000-year cycle where we're going through the photon belt or the photon band. Oh, it's all happening right now in 2026, which is ushering us in to 2027, and everything changes. And if you try to wait to 2026, you're done. The train is gone. You got to be ready now. You got to be ready to move now by spirit. You got to feel me. If you don't feel what I'm saying, if you don't hear what I'm saying, then it's okay. It's all right. We're not trying to force you to do anything, because everybody's not supposed to get on this train. Everybody's not supposed to move to this next level. They can't. It's not for everybody. It's for those who select and choose themselves to do whatever needs to be done. It's not about the money. It's not about relationships. It's about you finding yourself. If you realize how many important things are happening right now, then you'll realize why it's all about the Epstein files. You'll understand why Trump had to be the president right now. Those all things are these refraction codes. This is all to get you to keep from tapping into yourself. This is the test. This is the trial. This is the tribulation. We are now in this place where we are going through the alchemy. Calcination is the first step of personal alchemy, where you got to burn off all the stuff that's not. All the stuff that's not the true article, the true meta-els. Are you ready to tap into your meta-els? You got to get rid of your physical parasites. Yes, not just the ones in your colon, the ones throughout your body. You got to get rid of your mental parasites. You got to get rid of your vocal parasites, your literary parasites. We've got to get rid of parasitic friends, parasitic activities, because even you saying, oh, well, I got rid of my parasites, or I'm not a parasite, you probably are by even saying that. We're tapping in on a whole new level. Dr. B is coming online on a whole new level. And now I got my sister working with me. She's in the other realm. You see, and a whole lot of other people have crossed over. They're crossing over right now because this is the time to cross over so that you can help push us. Those beings that are crossing over right now are helping to guide us energetically on another level, because this is not everything, this physical body. It's an earth suit. And some folks is shedding their suit so they can fly to the next level to help us, usher in this new time. And there's no real one name for this time. But I know now that I've been prepared to help usher us into this new time. This is the time, y'all. So on the 1st of March, y'all, I don't know what you got to do. Go to elevationtime.com. You'll see the event right there, Unlocking Divinity Codes with Billy Carson and myself. And actually, tomorrow night, I'm doing a free webcast. And, I very seldom do this because some of the government entities don't like us to do this. But tomorrow night, I'm going to mention certain diseases and tell you what products can help to balance that issue. So I may get into heart disease or cancer or what they're calling diabetes or what they're calling dementia, and what natural products or natural solutions actually have been known to actually help. Not just one herb, not just two herbs, but whole solutions that we offer that can help us at this particular time. Because most diseases are teachers. It's supposed to teach you something. But we get over-medicated and we're looking for a pill. We're looking for a drug and we want the herb to work overnight. It takes time. It takes time. And not just one or two herbs are going to do it. So tomorrow night, that's going to be at 7 p.m. You can go to my YouTube. Go to Dr. B, Doctah, D-O-C-T-A-H, Dr. B on YouTube tomorrow night at 7. Then on Saturday at 11 a.m., I'll be talking about my book. And we're going to get deep. I'm going to read some parts of the book and just talk about what it takes for us to become authors, to become writers, and to express ourselves, because we all have a book in us. We're all writers. We're all arrangers. We're all creators. But we've got to begin to publish ourselves, make ourselves public. So I know I've been talking a lot and saying a lot, but I'm going to go back to this thing about the auric field. The aura is just not those pretty little colors you see about you around you when you do the Kirlian photography. That is not the true aura. That's just, it is a basis, a part of it. But there is a magnetosphere, and there's a geosphere around each of us, and we're universes. Each of us are universes. And the things that vibrate with us are usually the things that we don't think are vibrating with us, because we're looking to feel something that we were told to feel and be something we were told to be. I'm looking for those of you who are ready to get off the farm. How many of you are ready right now to get off this farm? How many of you ready to break out of this prison that was created? Because we couldn't do it before. We weren't on the right angle. We weren't on the right frequency. We've got enough now, right, where we're ready to do it. But people are waiting for AI to tell them. Are you crazy? You're going to ask AI about spirituality? It can only scrape what is written, what has already been written. What is happening now has never been written. It's never been done. You can't ask a machine that's intelligent and grabbing information from the past about right now. This has never happened. The true organic intelligence is in each of us. So we need to change our sound, our frequency, our walk, our talk. I'm going to show you some exercises on March 1st. Billy's got some too. These things actually create energetic fields that change everything. So the book is What's Eating You. It is out today. And it is, you go to elevationtime.com. There's many, many versions of the book, many different ways. You can get the soundtrack in the book. You can get my energetic signature that has been imprinted. You can get that. There's a hard cover. There's a soft cover. There's something for everybody. Whew, Brother Rich, I'm on fire. So if you got some questions, let's go.
All right, family. For those in the chat, give me some questions for Dr. B. Give me some questions for the brother Dr. B. Somebody said, what does seeing or hearing the hawk mean or symbolize?
Okay, here's what you do. I'm going to make it easy. Because if I tell you that, you're not going to hear what I'm saying because I'm going to speak it in the language that I know. You go to Google and you look up spiritual qualities of the hawk. I guarantee it's going to be a message just for you at that time. And what's interesting about this? Every time I see a hawk or I see an animal, I go look it up. It looks different. What they say feels different. I didn't see this last time. That's because the animal is showing up and speaking to you. Animals speak at a certain time, and what you feel at the time and what you read at the time changes. Information is constantly changing because your brain is changing, your cells are changing. So I'd like you to go do your own research on that. What do these animal symbols, these totems mean? We are the indigenous Americans. We're the indigenous people of all lands. But if you just focus on the hawk, check it out, or the squirrel, or these ladybugs that's all over my house right now, focus on them, watch them, and get quiet and just breathe, and they'll start talking to you. You'll get a little message. It might be a word, and you may say, what, did it really say that? Don't go to work today. Don't make that phone call. Don't eat this. Don't eat today. You will get a message. I'd like you to go tap in and get your own message. And I guarantee once you read the book, a whole lot of messages are going to come through, because there's people calling me who just read a few chapters and they said, this is the most amazing book I ever read. Just the first chapter, the early days and messenger and mystic voyage, just first 3 chapters. I talk about my life and how and what happened to me on a mystic voyage and how messengers came to me and how I got messages from beings from all over the universe as a child. And I share that with you. For the first time, I'm sharing some very private, deep, personal stories about what helped to create the one you know of as Dr. B. And this is not my my biography. This is not my, book about my life. This is a book about what got me to think about parasites and what's eating us. The book is based around the journey from opposition to liberation. The book is about my journey from opposition to liberation, because wherever there is liberation, opposition is right next to it. But you've got to figure out what angle you're on. What is your angle? What are you really doing, and why are you really doing it? You got another question? Somebody said, what comes first, the sound of the book or the soundtrack? I don't know. It's been happening. The soundtrack has been coming about for it's all been about 7 years. No, actually 30 years, because it was 1996. So the music has been happening along with the book. And some of the music you say, well, I've heard that before, Dr. B, like the song I Allow. I Allow, there's a new version of the song I Allow, which we used on the God Power soundtrack. There's a whole new I Allow. And when you hear this, you're going to be like, well, what is this? What am I feeling? Because it's created in 5 dimensions, right? And there's levels and levels and levels of frequencies. And every time you listen to it, you're going to hear something different. You'll hear some little voices and things happening that aren't in the track, but it's the combination of certain sounds coming together.
All right. Give me a second. Are there parasites that affect our dream state?
Well, there are, but a lot of your dream state has got to do with your subconscious mind and thought forms that you have, that you're focusing on energetically, or that are in the background. They're like background echoes, background frequencies that are being brought to the surface. Now, so it's not like parasites. And see, parasites are not really always bad or disagreeable entities. There's parasites that could help you. There's parasites that could break down toxins in your body, certain ones. It is the overpopulation. It is also the overpopulation of certain thought forms that when you go to sleep can take over, and you can have nightmares, or you can have, some people, they having daymares nowadays. People have, it's like around the clock, folks are living in fear and they're feeling inferior. But there's parasites everywhere in every realm. They're not necessarily bad, they're opposition. So you need opposition to become who you are. You need the opposite position. You need polarity. So you can't have good without knowing bad. You can't, it's just not going to be all easy and flowers and it's just so beautiful in this new fifth dimension. Let me tell you something. Everything is connected to its opposite. You can't have up without down. You can't have it. You have to have it all. It's just about what position, what angle you're on, and what you're prepared to deal with, what tools you're ready to use. That's why the book, I keep going back to the book. I'm really glad I got a book to talk about now, because I can always go back to the book. There's a whole section in the book. It's a resource guide. And in this resource guide, I talk about the plethora of books, movies, television shows, things that are actually pointing you in a place. It's a compendium of information that will help you. Just these 3 pages, just actually 2 pages, 2.5 pages. This is the book. I'm telling you where a whole lot of information is that you would take years and years and Google to find. And I use throughout the book, I keep telling you where I got certain things from. It's not about my ego. I even have a picture of the watch. You see that watch? See that picture of the watch? Check it out. It's right here. The watch is the watch that I had on when I hit the Bermuda Triangle and had hours and hours of missing time. This is the physical watch. It's fused inside. The watchmakers can't fix it. They say it's like it melted because I had something happen to me and I have missing time. But in that missing time, I gained some knowledge that is not of this world. I have something and I've been knowing something a long time. That's why I'd rather just come on and crack jokes and be funny, because the deep stuff would freak most people out. But people are ready now. People are saying, Dr. B, come on, give us the deep stuff. I'm ready to give you the deep stuff, because none of us know how long we're going to be in the physical realm. So it's time to give it up. You got to give it up. There's a song called Got to Give It Up by Marvin Gaye that a lot of people don't know, that I was the writer of that music. I wrote the music for Got to Give It Up when I was like 15 years old. The music for Got to Give It Up was written by me. And that's a whole nother story. I think I talk about that in the book too. But anyway, a lot of things have to be taken from you for you to realize what you may be missing. So I can say, well, they stole the song. Well, they did, but it also opened me up to realize that there's millions of people around the world that like what I do. Who is your market? Let's say you're trying to sell something. Who is your market? Let's go into marketing. I talk about that in the book too. How to sell anything. Who is your market when you're trying to sell something? I'm in these meetings, these marketing meetings, and everybody's trying to figure out, what is the market, Dr. B? What is the market that we're going for? You ready for this? The market that you should go for is you. Who is the person that you'd like to excite or to have your product? You. So you do you. And you do something so much that you like it. And there's over 1.6 million people in the world who are going to like the same thing. Do you. Stop trying to make people happy and appease people. That's where you lose. Market to yourself. Brand yourself. Brand your voice. Brand who you are. But you got to get out of, thinking that, you got to appease people. I'm not trying to make people happy. Some folks going to get really upset when they read the book. Some folks going to be pissed off. Did he just say that? Yes, he said it. And the book can speak it in a way that I might not be able to speak with my voice. So, and another thing is that books, somebody asked me the other day, they said, well, Dr. B, why do you write a book now? People ain't reading books. There are more people reading physical books and buying vinyl and lacquer records than in the last 20 years. People want something they can hold and touch. Now, there's going to be an audio version, which will be ready in about 2 days. There's going to be an audio version too. But you got to get the book and feel the book, because the book has energy. And the ones that I do signatures on, there's a special fountain pen that's on the way that I'm going to be signing these with a special ink. I'm in a special room signing them with special lights. And it's a whole ceremony, or what some may call a ritual, that I'm going to do when I imprint each one of these books and put the energy on it. Are you ready for one of these? Because it's never been done before. And you have never lived before. So let's be organically intelligent. Brother Rich, where you at?
Right here, my brother, right here. Let's keep this thing going. Somebody wants to know, question, Brother Rich, when you are able to astral project without trying, is that something or someone on the other side trying to get your attention?
You. You. Even that devil that you might be afraid of, guess who that is? You. We are everywhere. We're not just in these bodies. So in order to conquer the demon, you first have to conquer yourself, because the demon is a figment of your mind. The subconscious mind cannot perceive or conceive of anything outside of itself. I'm going to say it again. The subconscious mind cannot perceive or conceive of anything outside of itself. So if you can conceive the devil or somebody evil or the oppressor or the enemy, it's you. Because the whole world in your subconscious is you. That's why when you look at the animals and they pop up, that is you projecting from another time space, a whole nother time continuum, giving a message to yourself about you. So you're astral traveling all the time. We're astral traveling. You don't have to try. It's happening. But some folks is traveling on their ass and ain't really doing nothing. Then other folks is astral traveling. You got to figure out if you're going to get up off your ass and stop complaining all the time and pointing the finger and blaming other people. And, and judgment is what really does it. Where'd you learn judgment? We should be celebrating everybody's success. I don't like the way he got his money. Well, how'd you get your money? You think money is good and clean. What is money about? You don't even know what this is. It's energy. It's currency. It's electricity. It flows when you let it flow, but if you're goddamning yourself, but you're stopping your energy from flowing by judging, by talking shit all the time, by being angry, or being focused on all the disagreeable stuff in the world. That's a trick. Only 5% of the people in the world are truly awake and ready to do something and change. Are you one of the 5%? You got to choose. You can't cross between the 5% to 10%. Now you're over here. Now you're using 85% and you're blind, deaf, and dumb. Then all of a sudden you see, then you know, then you forget, then you meet somebody. And a lot of people, check this out. I talk about this in the book. A lot of y'all may be dating somebody or married to somebody because the parasite in your head called toxoplasma made a phone call to the parasite down below called uriplasma. They are cousins. And got you to date and mate with somebody. So the parasite could travel from person to person and controls the relationship. These are some bad mother beep parasites. They've been here for 2.5 billion years at least. They control this realm. How you vote, what you wear, how you talk, how you act. I am saying that they're here to make you aware of your true power once you begin to break the spell on every level. But once we start thinking that there's enemies in our dreams and stuff is bad, if there's something bad happening to you, there's also something very good. I'm not saying that everything is great. There's a lot of pain and suffering going on in the planet, but there's a lesson in everything. We exist and have existed always. We're not here right now. We're just having this existence in this particular moment right now. And everything that we can perceive is a part of us. Take control. Do the best you can. You're never going to be perfect. You're going to make mistakes. You have to. You got to fail in order to be successful. If you fail 99 times, it's the 100th time that you're actually probably going to be successful. I didn't give up. You know how many times I gave up this book? Over 7, 8 years? Because the book haunted me. The information was too deep. Some of it's scary. You're like, what? I'd never even thought about no shit like that. Well, what the hell? And for those of you who want to do a deep dive on parasites, I mentioned some parasites in here that you may have never heard of. Like one of them, Entomobia histelaca, flesh-eating amoeba. Have you know about the flesh-eating amoeba that loves cloves and wormwood and thyme? How do you know you have it? You have abdominal pain, fever, fear, nausea, weight loss, anger, cancer, sometimes abscesses of the liver or the brain that causes you to think and act outside of your natural being. Huh? Loa, the wanderer, the fluke worm, which is called the stealth assassin. Giardia lambia is in all water, all tap water. There's a whole group of parasites I mentioned, and there's a whole group of things that I talk about in the book that you can use to get yourself out of the system. So it's also not about just naming things and talking about it. It's also solutions throughout the book, Brother Rich.
All right. Let's keep this thing going. We're going to do 3 more questions, and then we're going to get out of here. Dr. B, somebody says, should I go to the military? What do you think about that?
Should you go to the military? You already know the question. See, people will ask somebody else the question. There's a parasite in the book. There's a whole section called the hitchhiker. there's a parasite called the hitchhiker. And it's a mental parasite. And you pick it up. And the hitchhiker starts talking to you. And the hitchhiker is this being, this energetic being that makes you feel friendly and you trust it. And this hitchhiker who you picked up on the side of the road begins to make you think that it knows more about life than you. There's no way in the world I can honestly sit here and tell you that you should go to the military or not. What is the military? What could you learn in the military? What does the word military mean? Where does it come from? Is it Air Force? Is it the Marines? What does the Marines mean? Why would you go to the military? Not saying that it's bad or good. You already know, and you're asking a question because you'd like somebody else, which is the hitchhiker parasite, to cooperate with you, to collaborate with you. We're looking for other people to go along with what we're saying and what we're feeling. Tap into yourself. Should you go into the military? If you're thinking of possibly being there, you're already there. If you're thinking about doing something crazy and wrong or being with somebody, you're already there in another dimension. Scientists today have proved that there's 11 dimensions. Actually, there's 144, but they have only been able to, they only would like to tell you about the 11 dimensions, which means there's 11 Earths. There's 11 yous that are all living in different dimensions and have a slightly a different lifestyle or a different way. One of you is already in the military. If you start thinking about being a loser, one of you already is in Lost. One of my clients was the producer of the show Lost. I have some clients that are like, some work in entertainment and different things. But this client, she is the producer of Lost, and she says, and I asked her one day, I says, so in Lost, how did y'all write that script? She said, what script? There was no script for Lost. I said, well, how did y'all film it? She says, everybody wore whatever they wanted to wear. And we got together and we said, today we're going to act lost. The whole show was people acting lost. There was no beginning, no end. She said that we just did whatever we wanted to do. There was no script. No, just be lost. A lot of folks are just lost. And there's no script and there's no rhyme. There's no reason. You're just lost. You're a wanderer. A drifter. And that's how the devil or the devil or the devil energy gets you, because you have not found yourself and you're not staying on a path. You don't have a chief goal or an aim every day. What is your prayer? I talk about that in the book too. My grandmother, she told me when I left, I was going to move to California to be a famous musician. She gave me this little handy dandy Bible. I still have it. And she held it and she says, don't ever leave home without a prayer. What? Don't ever leave home without a prayer. That means don't leave home without a meditation, without a focus. Where are you going? You need to know where you're going because it's going to be all kinds of things that pop up to pull your attention. All kind of stuff pops up every single moment to pull your attention. But guess what? You are testing yourself to see if you're going to stay focused on what it is. What is your goal? What is your telos? What is your journey? Where are you going? And all kinds of things will pop up to trip you up. Food, certain foods. And you said you was going to fast today. And here you are, 12 noon. You done went down and ate some whatever. Because a lot of times we can't stay focused because the world is calling us. You got to get out of the world. Don't leave home without a goal. Don't leave home without a prayer. Have a focus every day. And when you come to that event on the 1st, and I know y'all going to show up for this because we're not, this is not even highly advertised. It's just going to be one of those things that you had to be there. When you leave, you will not be the same. You will learn a new language. You will learn how to create your own bank. You will learn how to become wealthy and how to become successful at anything. And I guarantee once you do the core access experience, the new version of it, using this new drum that I'm going to play, this new rhythm, this new sound, nothing's going to be the same. Because there's new energies coming to the earth right now. There's new ideas. And we've got to become one once again. One with ourselves first. And then we've got to choose people to team up with. And we got to figure out, is this a parasitic relationship or is it reciprocal? We have to find reciprocal relationships, not ones where you're doing all the work. A lot of us, let me just say this real quick. I see there's a lot of folks here who I recognize who are, caretakers and nurturers and teachers in the chat. How many of y'all end up giving more energy than you receive? How many of y'all find yourself in relationships where you're the nurturer, you're the doctor, you're the wisdom, you're the knowledge, and you're always helping the person, which is like a patient or a student? They can't even give you much because they don't have much to give because they're not on the same frequency as you. But you like them, they fine. The intimacy is really good. I had 25 orgasms the other night. But what is happening internally where you're not feeling worthy enough to receive as much as you're giving? You have to step into this new place that has never existed before. Go to elevationtime.com, elevationtime.com. Tomorrow night, make sure you're on that webcast because we're going to talk about diseases. Saturday, I'm going to talk about the book. And on the 1st, Billy Carson and I are going to knock the ball out the park energetically. All right, Brother Rich, we got what? You say 5 more questions?
We're going to do 2 more. We're going to do 2 more.
All right.
Let's see. There was one I wanted to. Okay, is breath work effective against parasites?
No, because they breathe too. You change your breathing, they change theirs. You start doing fire breath, they start doing fire breath. Because parasites, the key is para. That means beside, like parallel. They do what you're doing. They mimic you. You can breathe all you want. All you're doing is putting more oxygen in your body, which is good. But that's not stopping the parasites because they're breathing too. There are specific stages. And let me tell you something. It takes a minimum of 28 days to interrupt the life cycle, the breeding cycle, the eating cycle of a parasite. 28 days. You mean you did something in a week? I did this cleanse this weekend. I ate a handful of blah, blah, blah. Okay, the simple little cheap baby bugs. All right, maybe you got some of them. Congratulations. The super bugs, which are based on germ warfare. Please look up germ warfare or biological weapons that were created for war and created. In fact, in St. Louis, they were trying to get these people to move out of this housing project. They flew helicopters over this housing project, and they misted the whole area with these parasites. The people became sick and began to die, and within a year, everybody had moved out or died in this housing project. Dick Gregory used to talk about this a lot. Did you know that that mist actually got in the water supply? It got in the trees, animals ate it, birds. It traveled on the winds. You ever see the movie 3 the Hard Way? Go check out the old movie 3 the Hard Way from the 70s. This was the 80s, 70s. Whereas, these brothers are trying to stop these corporations from putting these parasites, this energy, this chemical in the water. Do you know this is based on fact? There is stuff in your water. It's in the air. It's in the breath. There are more parasites on the planet than anything else. You're never going to get rid of them. But what you can do is control them. You can turn them down. You can change and see, a lot of parasites have these things called receptors on them. They're like little antennas. And these antennas is what they use to communicate. They communicate with each other. They send messages like, bees and ants, they communicate chemically. They touch each other and they buzz and they move. And that touch with the little receptors, little hairs on their body is picking up these chemical references that tell them where they are, how many they are, what they're doing, where they're going, where they need to be. In fact, those are the most perfect societies, ants and bees and things like that, because they follow the law. Okay? Yeah, it was Fred Williamson, Jim Kelly, really good movie, that movie 3 the Hard Way. But that actually happened. So what I'm telling you is that you are playing with your own self. In fact, I'm going to say this much, and I know some folks are going to upset them. When you go and you buy your average parasite cleanse, do you know that it is the super bugs? It is the weaponized super bugs used for germ warfare, which are very intelligent, that are getting you to go to the store or to trust that this stuff is going to kill parasites. If this stuff has been used since, let's just say, well, I don't know when biblical days are, because that's a question. When is the Bible and what is it about? But if this stuff has been on the planet for thousands of years and people have been using these simple substances, don't you think the parasites have mutated past that? They can't use the same stuff on wheat and crops now. They got to keep changing the chemicals because the bugs mutate. The parasites have mutated. What you were used to use used to work back in the day. Our grandfather, he used to give us a cube of sugar and put a turpentine on it. And we used to take that for parasites and, cod liver oil and all of this. They have evolved. And some of the food that you're eating, even some of this stuff that you're calling health food, the parasites got you eating it. Because naturally, if you had your original sense of disgust, there's some things you wouldn't do. Why are you trying to shape up this food to make it look like a burger or to make it look like a chicken or make it look like, something so you can have a happy holiday? So you're going to shape up this chemical and these drugs, right? These drugs masquerading as foods, which is a lot of your vegan foods, to make it look or feel or have the texture of something else. And almost all of them are made of genetically modified organisms. What is a genetically modified organism? I don't think people are hearing this. An organism is something alive. Didn't they tell you that most of the foods today were created through genetically modifying organisms? What are the organisms? Parasites, bacteria, fungi. They're the organisms. So you got this health burger that you're eating, right? It's really a hell burger that you're eating, that you've slopped all this stuff on to make it taste a certain way. You are eating organisms that go down into your system. Some of them have nanoparticles. A lot of the food has got nanoparticles. How are you going to disengage nanoparticles? I figured out how to do it. I figured out how to disengage certain nanoparticles. What are you talking about? Yes, I did. Well, Dr. B, who do you think you are? I think I'm Dr. B. And I think that the messages coming through Dr. B right now are very unique. I figured out how to disengage some of this stuff that has been put in your body, whether it's through shedding, whether it's through whatever activities that you've been involved with. You have everything in you. We've got to get it under control. We've got to create balance. We got to create homeostasis. And we couldn't do it till now because right now is the time. We got to emit, take time and turn it backwards. Time, T-I-M-E, turn it backwards. E-M-T, I can't even spell it. E-M-I-T, emit. What are you doing? So what we're doing right now with this new Parasite Cleanse program and the book, which is working on your mental, physical, and spiritual entities and energies, right? Along with that, and the classes and workshops that we're doing right now, there's nothing ever been done like this before. And who else could do this but me? I chose myself to be here at this point. Now, my parents, I talk about that in the book, all the people who helped to create who we are, they expect us to do our best. Are you ready to do your best? And just because you read some books and because you're a practitioner and you got singing bowls and, you got sage and, people send me music all the time. And people are sending me videos right now too. And they made a lot of this through AI or whatever. And some of it is not AI. Some of it's natural. But they don't know the frequencies that they're using is doing the opposite of what they'd like to do because they haven't learned about frequency augmentation. They don't know that there's certain notes and certain apps that you're using, even in your computer, that are putting electronic parasite signals in your head, which makes you want more parasites and makes you become parasitic. It takes 28 days of you listening to a certain music, eating a certain type of food, reading certain books, being away from all these frequencies and all these freaks. You heard me. Staying away from so much plastic and getting you some sheets that are made out of, linen. Have you tried linen sheets yet? Once you use linen sheets, you'll know it's a government program to get you to buy some polyester and wear polyester hair, polyester clothes, polyester shoes, polyester thoughts, and you're polyethylene. And you're fake. But you got money. I got money. I got money. Okay, well, as money is everything, we'll go for it. I'm saying that we have to get real again and get rid of some of the fake up. At least some of it, some things, okay, we can, a little bit of that, you can have a little bit of this. But if you are overindulging in anything, you can overindulge in water. You think I'm drinking a gallon of water a day? Are you crazy? You don't need to drink a gallon of water. You need to take it. You need at least 4 pints of water with a little bit of Celtic sea salt in it. No, Dr. B, I got the Himalayan salt. I bet you don't have no Himalayan salt. Them folks don't know how to fake. They know you want that pink salt, so they done made some pink salt that ain't never been nowhere near no Himalayans. Guy brought me some crystals the other day or a couple months ago. Hey, Dr. B, this is a citrine crystal, man. I bought this at a crystal show. I looked at it, I said, bro, that ain't no citrine. That's quartz crystal that they put in a microwave to make it turn orange. That is not citrine. They make stuff look a certain way because the parasites that are controlling the world are they're using your energy. They're using your life force and they're tricking you into spirituality and consciousness. It's a trick because the people that really have it, you don't know they have it. The people that's really on it, you don't know they're on it because they're quiet and they're silent. I might be talking a little bit too much right now, but I got something to say that I haven't said for a long time. And I'm here with my brother Rich because I love my brother Rich. He's doing a really great thing. And all you brothers and sisters that's out there right now that are spreading the good word, be careful. Because some of what you're spreading is bullshit. You don't mean to do it. I didn't say you meant to do it. But some of us aren't. We haven't been around the world enough. One of my teachers was Chief Little Bear. And he was an indigenous American medicine man. And he said, you know how we count age? By how many winters you've been through. How many winters? Not how many years. How many winters? That means hard times, tough times. I have been through a lot of winters. And in the book, I talk about some of the dramas and craziness that I've been through in my life. How many winters have you been through? How many tough times? How many times have you failed? So when you look at that, you begin to add up things differently because you have to go through trial and tribulation and you must be tested. You can't just say, I'm a healer. You'll never hear Dr. B say, I'm a healer. You don't call yourself these things. Well, I guess you do now because, you can call yourself anything you want. I'm just saying that it's still, sometimes we're not mature at it yet. We're still working on it. Let somebody else who has wiseness choose you and tell you or give you the name. Everybody's an herbalist. But when they come in the lab with me, they're like, well, Dr. B, what are you doing? So this is how I, prepare something. Dr. B, this is going to take 5 days to make. Yes. Some of the solutions that I create I have one that might take a week. One solution. You just don't boil this stuff up and drink it. It's toxic at that level. It doesn't even enter the cells. You got to create things that cause what we call an intracellular cleansing. You got to bring up the electrical potential because we're biophotic. We take light and turn it into electricity. How do you do this, Dr. B? Why are you using all these steps to make these herbal formulas? I'm going to make a video soon of how I actually process herbs, and I do it the old way. And that's why some folks call me and say, well, Dr. B, I ordered something and it took 2 weeks to get to me. Well, go get something on Amazon then. My stuff is curated. It's created in a way where if I'm not feeling a certain way, I'm not going to make the product. If I'm not in a right state of mind, I'm not going to spread my toxic energy on the world because that's what you're doing. A lot of products that people have out here, first of all, a lot of folks ain't even making their stuff. They got somewhere in some lab, somewhere in China or Mexico or Willie's basement. I don't know. But it's your energy. What energy is around your herbs? What energy is around what pen or pencil do you use? When you open up a book, what do you expect? What do you expect this to do? You got to have expectations, but you also have to allow yourself to be totally creative and do something that's never been done. Are you ready to be totally creative and do something that's never been done? If so, and you're dealing with some diseases or some illnesses or some imbalances, tomorrow night at 7 p.m., go to my YouTube channel. And then that's tomorrow night. So I'm going to talk about disease states and things that can help. Then on Saturday, I'm going to talk about the book. I'm going to read from the book, give you some of the pieces of the book. And those of you who ordered the book, people are saying, well, where's my book? I ordered the book. I did a pre-order. The books, I won't have the physical books until March because that's how long it takes for them to get to me. I'd like to get them to you quicker. But depending on how you purchase it, you will get a musical download on certain ones, certain versions, certain options. And if you get the Supreme offer, what's it called? I can't even remember what it's called. There's one offer where you get the whole 22 tracks, 7 minutes of music. You get the book. You get the audio book. You also get my energetic imprint or signature, sign of nature with the book. All of that, you go to elevationtime.com and you'll see the links. So this is the time for us to become who we are in the solutions. I wrote down the solutions, the medicines. This is about what? Break free from mental, physical, and energetic parasites. The journey from opposition to liberation. It's time to get free. We'll take one more question.
Yeah.
Seems like I'm saying a whole lot tonight.
Okay. Last question. What happened? You're doing a great job though. So, yeah, definitely needed, my brother. Last question. What happened to AI Atlas?
Check it out.
3i or what is it? 3i Atlas, I think. Yeah, 3i Atlas. I think that was it.
Where did this thing come from? Did y'all see it? Who actually saw it?
Well,
you saw pictures.
Yeah.
And every picture I saw looked different. Who gave us the pictures? I was, there's a guy who used to come to Elevation when we had Elevation in Los Angeles. He worked for JLP or JPL, Jet Propulsion Labs up in Pasadena, California. Look him up. He was a scientist and he used to love to come to the classes. And he would let us know what was going on in the cosmos. And he showed us a picture of space. you know, how you see the planets and the stars, and they're so beautiful. And he showed us the you know, all the different, you know, universes and all this. And then he turns around and says, do you know that this is not what it looks like? I said, huh? What do you mean? He says, this was created by Photoshop. The pictures that you see of the sky are not what it looks like. They were fixed up for you. Your whole world has been curated. It's a show, like the Truman Show. That's not what it looks like. You start hearing about AI Atlas, Atlas 3i, whatever it is. What is it? You don't even know. So now you're focused on that and what it means. Oh, this is deep. I heard a brother speak for 2 hours about this thing. And I'm like, where's he getting this information from? Then I heard this lady, she was channeling the message. I'm channeling the message from her, and the message says that humanity has. I'm like, wow. We don't even know. This is like a distraction. If there's anything happening out there, it's happening in there, inside you. The idea of us focusing on these things is parasitic, something sucking your energy. What is eating you? What is eating up your time? We got enough going on right here. You need to look at your fingerprint. Your fingerprint is a deep thing. Look in the mirror at yourself. Who are you being? What resources do you already have? Why do I got to worry about 3i Atlas, AI Atlas? I mean, you can. That's great. You got time on your hands. Go ahead and do that. All of a sudden, it disappears. Where'd it go? They tell you, well, actually, they got a deep voice. You know, it's the voice of superiority. All those are distractions to me. There's more that we're dealing with on this planet. What's in the ocean? Do you know there's a study called epistemology. Epistemology is the study and the science of the limits of knowledge. Look it up. What are you talking about? There's a science that studies the limits of knowledge. Well, how do you know where knowledge begins and ends? How do you know how? Somebody gets paid to study stuff they just come up with. They say we've only discovered 10% of what's in the ocean. How do you know how much is the percentage that you found if you don't know what else is down there to find? See? Intelligence messes with your brain. The medical doctor told me herbs don't work. I said, well, why don't they work? He said, because if they did work, you know, we'd be using them. We didn't learn them in school. You got to read the chapter on the medical business about the Flexner report and why your whole school system and the medical system is parasitic. Because these guys came up with this lie, this story, to take over medicine, to take over doctors' offices. Anybody that was in the herbs, natural medicine, drugless doctors, spiritualists, some were burned at the stake, called witches. They're still doing it. Somebody told me that Dr. B, well, you're just a snake oil salesman. Chinese do have a snake that's in a big jar that they use for medicine that actually does have power. In fact, we're talking about snake oil. How many people are taking this weight loss stuff that is the saliva of the Gila monster? Do y'all know about this? You take this medicine and it paralyzes your gut so that you don't want to eat, you can't eat. It's the venom of a reptile, a poison Gila monster reptile. What? What is this whole thing with reptilians? They got reptilian medicines they're giving you all the time. And we have a reptilian brain, which is the first part of the brain to develop in utero. And once they can keep your mindset in the reptilian part, you just react. You just eat, drink, have sex, eat, drink, have sex, go party, because they're keeping you in a reptilian mindset when you've got to realize there's 7 circuits. Actually, there's 9 circuits of the brain. There's different levels that we can tap into if you're ready to do it. But if you're taking all this stuff to try to get somewhere, to lose weight, to gain weight, to grow hair, to do that, to be something that you are not, then you're done. It's okay. Go on about your business. We're not trying to get you on this train because everybody can't ride on this train. This is the love train. Who would like to be on the love train? Who would like to be on it? The real love train. Then you're going to get this book. Because this book is going to teach you how to love yourself. You want to have the best relationship, read some of this book together, the lovers, whether it's 2 or 3. Some of y'all have these, multiple relationships. Everybody get in the bed together and read this book. And there's one section of the book where, let me tell you something. If you do what I'm telling you to do in this book, you're going to have some of the best intimacy and sexuality that you ever had in your life. It's in the book. It's not that big. It's not a big book because I say it fast and I lay it down quick for those who are ready to pick it up. So we talk about love and relationships and how to stay together and how to create something that's powerful and crystallize your imagination so you can get into the Christ-like energy. We're not talking about the Jesus Christ walking on water. We're talking about you being in balance and homeostasis within yourself. So that's in the book. What's Eating You at elevationtime.com. You'll see a link. Go there. Also, the event that is going to be on March 1st with Billy Carson and I will have books to sign. We'll be doing a signing. I think Billy's going to have some of his books too. That's going to be a 6 to 8 hour event where you can come and meet some of the most powerful people and some of the deepest thinkers on the planet at this event in Atlanta, in East Point, Atlanta. That's going to be on March 1st. And that link is also at elevationtime.com. But once again, tomorrow night at 7 p.m., I'm going to be talking about diseases and things that can help and products that I have, that I offer and formulate that can help you with some of the major illnesses. And on Saturday, we're going to have a lot of fun because I'm going to read from the book. Saturday, that's at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's what's behind the book. And on Saturday, I'll be talking about the chapter called Dreaming Awake. And some of y'all know exactly what I'm talking about with that one. Are we dreaming awake? Mm-hmm. Are we alive? Who are we? Brother Rich, back to you.
Oh yeah, man. What a magnificent show, Dr. B. Like I said, it's very important that you discuss this tonight, especially with the times that we live in and the distractions at an all-time high. So once again, I want to thank you for coming on here, my brother. Make sure you head on over to elevationtimes.com to get all the necessary information.
No S.
Dr. B.
Time.
Time. elevationtime.com. You head over there, get the necessary information. With that being said, Dr. B, man, I'm going to talk to you soon, my brother. I appreciate you for coming on. One last message summed up in a sentence or more that you would like to leave us with today, Dr. B.
We have always been here.
Mm-hmm.
We will always be here. We are a collection of energies and entities from everything. We are everywhere. Some of the aliens that you talk about are us expressing themselves in different ways. Some of the things that we have been looking at in the past, we need to look at now from a new point of view. It's time to elevate. It's time to change. It's time to shift and pivot and take advantage of the shifts that are happening on the planet right now. So remember love, remember peace, and elevate your mind to the next level. Whatever that is for you. I will see you soon. Come with us. Let's have some fun. And just remember, down in that basement, there's a lot of luggage and cargo. Travel light because most of the luggage you carry is not yours. Don't be a parasite and don't let the parasites eat you. What's eating you? You'll find out soon and soon enough. The shift has happened. Much love and harmony to you all. Thank you, Brother Rich, and your wonderful audience, and I'll see you soon. And I'll have a book for you within a couple weeks, okay? I can pick up those cigars. You still got my cigars?
Got them, my brother.
You put them away somewhere special?
They're good. They are being preserved amazingly.
You got a humidor?
Yeah. I got a couple. I got a big one right here. Let me show you that. I got a big one right here.
Uh-oh.
Got a big one right here. So I got it.
Oh, you in it real deep.
Yeah.
You in it real deep, bro.
I got the small packets for the ones that's in the containers. So yeah, I got but I got you, Dr. B. When did you get back in town?
I've been back in town for about 2 weeks now.
2 weeks, okay.
Yeah, I was out in Los Angeles for about 2 weeks. And, it's interesting because I went by this one place and everybody was doing their cigars and everybody was talking about the cigars. And I thought about you, but I know that the cigars that you have are not just your regular cigars, and they have been picked and curated at a special time. And where are they from again?
Honduras.
Yeah.
Whew. And with your sister passing away, it is the perfect time to light a cigar, Dr. B. Perfect time. So you really gonna enjoy it. I think the cigars are coming to you at the perfect time, my brother. At the perfect time.
I appreciate you, man. I'm glad that we talked that day and we started talking about nicotine.
Yeah.
And the powers of nicotine, because you thought I was crazy. Remember that?
I did. You called me in the morning, and I'm like, I just dropped my son off. I'm like, what the hell? I said, did he get high before he called me? You just start telling me all this shit about patches and C19 and this and I'm like, man, what? Dr. B is wilding out. He's like, Rich, I can't go public with this just yet. I'm like, whoa, but man, you was on it. You were ahead of your time. And I appreciate you. You changed my life for that. You just caused me to tune into a frequency that I didn't know I was going to tune into last year. So I want to thank you, Dr. B, for that. Like I said.
And whatever's happening, they're doing you good. Your skin has changed. Your eyes look different, man. So you're doing the real breath work now, brother.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate you. And I can't wait to, see you and to indulge.
I got to talk to you. Let me, before you go, real quick, Dr. B. I was reading a book. I got this book from Health Unlimited. This is a music question, but I just want to ask you before you leave. And I wish I had it in front of me. It got like a weird name to it. But in the book, it said the 432 hertz thing is bullshit. That's just something that people came up with. But damn, I really should go get the book right now. But are you like a 432 hertz guy, like hardcore 432 hertz?
No.
That is, talk to me about it. What you mean?
There's a whole lot of frequencies that are harmonics of the earth vibration.
Right.
432 is one of the frequencies that was chosen that could be easily obtained by the average person. It actually isn't just 432 because 432 has harmonics of it. We call it 432 because it's almost like saying, the alphabet. We just need to call it something. But the way I'm tuning, the instruments are not based on just 432. They're based on the resonance of the instrument. So originally I'm a conga drummer. So between the skin and the wood, right, there's a certain frequency. So like my favorite congas are made of rosewood from down in Peru. They're tuned to a special frequency. And when I tune them, because you can make them higher or lower, there is a resonant frequency, one frequency that's louder than the rest. It's like boo. So you'll be hitting the drum like boop, 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 boop. And it's tuned when it goes boo, because the frequency and the shape of the drum vibrates with the shape and the frequency of the room. It's a resonant frequency. So it's not really 432 all the time. It has to do with the resonant frequency of you, the resonant frequency of nature, the room that you're in, the studio that you're in. There's certain studios that I would go to, right? Because of the resonant frequency of the room. My studio is tuned to these sacred frequencies that actually resonate. And I have special microphones because every microphone can't even pick these frequencies up. You see? So it's not just 432. So it's not that it's bullshit. It's that it's basic. It's really much more deep than 432. Now the 440, right, was a frequency that actually causes people to be almost like brainwashed, people to be in a trance state where you're not able to tap totally into yourself because the frequencies of 440 are square. They're like square waves. They're like frequencies that don't resonate like nature.
Well, like sawtooth waves or something.
Well, there's sawtooth waves, there's square waves, there's sine waves, and then there's these waves that are all types of different waves that are happening.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I learned a long time ago, because I'm a percussionist, how to tune instruments, not just find something on a computer and say, like, they have these frequencies. Like you can go to a 432 generator website and it's and you're sitting there listening to this and something's supposed to happen. Nothing's happening because it's not that simple where you could just tune to a frequency. The frequencies are changing. And remember, I said earlier that the frequency of the planet and the universe is changing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 432 is not one of the harmonics anymore. It might be 431 point such and such. It's changing. So you have to tap into your frequency, your superpower. So like this drum, I've been attempting to create this new drum for about 20 years. 20 years, this new instrument. But guess what? I couldn't do it. It was like everything I tried to do, it really wasn't it. I could have created a drum and if I just wanted to do it for commerce and just sold it and told y'all a bunch of stuff. I had to wait till the right wood popped up. I had to wait till the right scale popped up in a dream state. It came to me in a dream state. I had to wait. You have to be patient sometime for the right thing to show up and not try to force it. So yeah, it's not just 432. So it's not that it's bullshit. It's that it's very basic, like 7 chakras. That's very basic.
Right.
It's impossible for there to be just 7 chakras, but that's what, 7 numbers, 7 notes. It's always something that the Europeans can easily remember that we actually end up following and studying because that's the way they were able to obtain it. When we are multi-dimensional, there's frequencies like 528, 417. What are those frequencies about? But they're changing all the time. So it's not one set of frequencies. It has to do with the earth rate. It has to do with the cosmos. And it also has to do with the music of the spheres because the planets and the orbs and the stars and everything all are resonating at certain frequencies and they're changing constantly. So it's not one frequency.
Beautiful.
So in fact, is there light behind you changing? Is the frequency around you changing, brother?
No, it's just a white wall.
It looks like it's changing. It turns yellow. It turns. That's really deep.
I got it. It's a white wall.
Something's going on because it don't look white on my tip.
Yeah, I'm waiting to put a new design up here, but right now it's just a white wall.
It's changing as I look at it.
Might have seen some entities or some shit, man.
See the entities and outities.
Outities.
We need to talk to the entities and the outities. But frequency is how often something happens. How many times does a wave go to its positive side and it goes through what we call 0 point and then it goes to the negative or up and down? And how often does that wave or that habit or that thing happen? What is the frequency of what we're eating? How much we're eating, what we're saying? Everything is frequency, you see, and it's changing. So it's not just 432. That's a very simplistic way of saying it.
I'm glad you clarified that for me, my brother. Really, really glad.
But anything that's really good, somebody's going to say that it's not.
Yeah, that's true too.
Everything's connected to its opposite. If you feel good about 432 and it works for you, use it.
You gotta use it. Yeah.
Use what you feel good with.
You know what I've been doing, Dr. B, with some of the music I've been making. I would detune the note a little bit. So let's say I'm playing A major.
Yes.
And the A, let's say I'm playing the A. How can I explain it? They say each semitone, in between each semitone, I think they said is 100 cents.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
So I'll detune it about 15 cents.
Yes.
And it creates like a thickness, like a weight to it.
Yes.
It's a very nice sound that it creates. So
1.8%. If you have an A 440, and you detune it 1.8%. That's what they call 432. It feels warmer. It's smoother. You turn that tune knob, never mind the numbers. You turn that tuning knob or tune your guitar or your horn or whatever until it feels right. Who can argue with you?
Can't argue, right? Yep.
All over the world, they use different tunings. You go to the continent, some of these tribes, they're playing. You ain't never heard some of these rhythms and some of these tunings. But we want everything to be a certain way. We want it stuck. We want to be able to hit an app and have a number. Every song I make is 432. No, well, we could call it that. It's a commercial thing. But what frequency are you? You may not feel good with that frequency. What is your frequency? So a lot of times when I take people like through the core access experience, they figure out their frequency. They said, but Dr. B, people start telling me afterwards what they experienced. They said, I was like on a mushroom journey. Dr. B, what happened? Because when you tap into your frequency, and I'm gonna just finish with this.
Yeah.
You are now a traveler, a space traveler. You can open up other dimensions, other worlds, other universes by tapping into certain frequencies. And you don't necessarily need a plant, a herb, or anything, because all they're doing is tapping you into what's already there. It existed. The DMT is just helping your pineal tune to the frequency where it can open up and pick up all those other, frequencies and sounds and experiences. So find what is your frequency. Be totally, did you see the movie, the television show, The Man That Fell to Earth?
Yeah, I seen a couple episodes. Yeah.
You didn't watch the whole thing?
I didn't see the whole
Bro. Go back. Where the man is basically from the planet where the black folks are like bees.
Yeah.
Bro, watch the whole show. Every word that they say is deep. The Man That Fell to Earth, the television show. The last one, they break it down. What is the most powerful force? I'm not going to tell you now. They're looking for the most powerful force in the universe that creates fission energy, what they call nuclear fission. They're looking for the most powerful energy source in the world. And what I'm going to tell you, it is emitted by us, the most powerful force in the world. And it has to do with music, and it has to do with improvisation.
You got to tell me now. Come on, Doc. Don't do that.
The most powerful thing in the world is total creativity, improvisation, and you being yourself at a point where you now exist in a space where you become a world. You become a whole the universe is not even a big enough word.
Right.
The most powerful force in the world is what has been taken out of music. Total improvisation. Like, remember when jazz was deep, when cats was playing all kinds of stuff, man. Especially when they was mixing hip hop and jazz and R&B and blue. There was a time when people were being super, super creative and they weren't worried about what people thought. Check this out. A lot of musicians today, and even singers and rappers, they're looking at the audience. They're trying to move the crowd. They're trying to make the audience do something. Look at me. Look at me. It's all about looking at me. And the way they dress, or they don't dress, or they dress down or naked, whatever. It's all about shock and awe to get people to like me. The best musicians in the world are not looking at the audience. They don't care. They're tapped into themselves, into their natural creativity. They're improvising and tapping into a place in them that has never happened before. So you might listen to Coltrane and listen to Giant Steps, and they're talking about, oh boy, Giant Steps was the greatest song ever done. He just did this. They're talking about what he did and what he knew. He may have never played it like that again. In fact, most really great musicians never do the same thing. They don't have loops. They're not doing the same thing over and over, because that makes you a slave, and that makes the parasitic mindset able to siphon off your energy, because what? You're too easy. You're too known. Your system is too regimented. The system that makes you like an Autobot, where they know what you're going to do. They know your algorithm. They know your system. They're analyzing you. They know what you're going to like and what you're not going to like. So now you've become a part of a parasitic society. But when you are totally improvising, Totally. You don't know what's going to happen. You're not trying to figure it out. You're just existing in the brain of the universe, in the mind of all. That's the most powerful. Man, you got to watch the show, bro. Go watch that show. My man, let me give you this real quick. So the man that fell to earth, the alien man, which is a black man, he helps the sister's father because the sister's father has some disease. So he helps him by pulling this black fluid out of him. And the man feels much better and he's healthy now. So they're riding in the car and the brother is trying to learn English and he's learning about the rituals and ceremonies of the earth and all that. He's trying to figure this thing out here on the planet because he's from somewhere else. So he's talking to the sister and the sister says, I'd like to thank you for curing my father. And he looks at her and says, a temporary cure is not a cure. He says, a temporary cure is not a cure, boo. She says, boo. Oh, it ain't like that. See, you learning English and she's trying, she's trying to say he don't understand what he's saying when he says boo. He looks right at her. He called her boo.
Right.
She thinks that means that he likes her. So she's trying to say, no, it ain't like that. I ain't trying to hook up with you. I ain't trying to have no alien man. When actually she is. But boo means the original life force. Boo. The black original origins, the woman is boo. Boo was said by the white folks when the black goddesses came in town and they were scared, called her Medusa, said she had snakes out of her head because they knew she was magical. So they got scared. So their code word was boo, boo, boo. That was their code word. The white folks started saying boo to let the other white folks know that God is here. This is when God was a woman back in the day. God just walked into town. We got to be very careful. So it became a scary term, but it was about being afraid of the black original woman because she can do anything. Boo. You got to watch the show, bro.
Yo, Dr. B, real quick before we leave, ain't it something how we still manage, after all of that, we still manage to take that word, use slang, and refer to our woman, yo, that's my boo right there. That's slang. That's my boo. Yo, that's my boo right there. So we still, the slang, I keep saying this shit, yo, it's so advanced, but we got an inferiority complex. We don't know it, but we still manage to take that word and refer to it as our woman. Yo, that's my boo right there. Oh, man, you got to love this shit, man.
You're saying something. Listen to the sound of it. Just say it. Boo. Yeah. What chakras does it vibrate? Boo. You can feel that all the way up and down from your throat chakra straight on down to your core. Boo. It's a wholeness. It's the music. It's the spheres. It's the sound of the planet. Boo. Boo. And they got that bass on the end and that W. Boo. So it's something that was used as a code to let them know that God is in town. Be careful. But we still use these terms today. A lot of the terms that we use, we're tapping into, like you say, the slang. What they try to call, what do they call it? They try to say it was called ebonics.
Ebonics, yeah.
They talks ebonics. We're taking the language and twisting it, just like with music. Yeah. With original R&B, original jazz, all of that stuff. Even though the music since 1956 was tuned to 440, we would play what's called the blue notes. That meant that you was bending the keys, and singers and stuff would bend the keys. You know, I was with Chaka Khan a couple weeks ago. She was in LA and she was at Agape and I was there. So we met backstage, right? And what was funny, she got up on the stage and sang, but the folks that were singing were a little bit flat, a little off pitch. And Chaka was singing with them, right? Because she was sitting in. Chaka is so bad. She got in there and sang flat with them so she wouldn't embarrass them. And then she slowly bent out of the flat into the sharp, into the natural, and turned this sucker out. I was like, did you see what she just did? She didn't get up and start singing the natural notes. She sung flat with them. I'm going to be with y'all. Y'all flat right now. We're going to be flat together. But then I'm going to teach you within this song how to bend the notes back to the natural frequency. And by the end of that song, everybody was perfectly on tune. She didn't have to say nothing. Chaka Khan.
That's God level.
And she don't need no auto-tune and none of that. See, we've got a lot of supplements now. We got a lot of things that help us be creative, and we could just use AI and just make a whole album in a few minutes, and that's cool if that's what you do. But there's people that can tap into that godness, that originality that can't be taken. We are all from Boo, Big Mama. So let's not get caught up and let them eat us alive with their ideas about what things are. We have to redesign. We have to rename everything. Everything is going to get a new name. We're on a new earth. Some of the things that used to work ain't going to work no more. Some of the things that we used to do, some of y'all know some of these ceremonies and stuff that you've been doing, they don't work. They don't work. And I can pick an AI song in a minute. My boy called me one day, man, this track, man, this is AI, man, it's incredible. I says, bro, that's very sterile. It's too perfect. Really good music is not perfect. It's changing and growing. We are not supposed to be perfect people. We're supposed to be moving and flowing and being flexible and not at attention all the time and in fear, because that makes us inferior. Indeed. Brother, one day we're going to get together in the studio and I'm going to show you a couple things that I can't even talk about on the air. I just got to show you. So we'll do that soon. And
one day sooner than later. It's going to happen real soon, Doc.
It's happening. It's already happening.
Yes. Indeed. Hey, I appreciate you, Dr. B. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Travel light.
I'm going to give you a call tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. Peace.
All
right. Shout out to everybody once again. Appreciate all of y'all for tuning in to the show tonight. Long one tonight. We had 2 hours and 20 minutes in, but it was a great show. For anybody, Dr. B's website is elevationtime.com. You could go, I think King is pinned at the top of the chat. So you can click on that link at the top of the chat and support the brother Dr. B. Also, for those inquiring, I've seen a couple of people inquiring about the radio cigars. Somebody said, hey, Brother Rich, long-time supporter, but first-time cigar experience. I really enjoyed it, bro. And I'm into cigars, but nothing like your cigars. I appreciate it. For those inquiring about it, it's a donation-based thing. You could go on over to that link I just provided to PayPal and send a donation. It's donations of 30 or more for those inquiring about the price. Donations of 30 or more get you the gift of this sacred, and it is sacred, cigar that comes from Honduras. Won't be live tomorrow. I will be back Friday. Not sure with who. I got a couple of ideas in mind, but I will keep y'all up to date with something else I want to tell y'all. Can't think of it right now, but good. I'm glad y'all tuned in. I'm about to get out of here. Let me see what y'all talking about in the chat. Shout out to King Simon. I seen you up in here earlier. Somebody said this show set the frequency bar on multiple levels. Yes, indeed. It definitely did. This was a good one. Definitely a good one. Yeah, so with that being said, family, let me get out of here. I'm gonna see y'all on Friday night. All right, family. Everybody enjoy your night. Do what you got to do and tune into your own personal frequency. All right, peace and blessings, y'all.
Before there was cigarettes, before there were brands, there was the leaf. Tobacco is one of the oldest forms of spirit communication known to humanity. Long before modern times, it was understood as a living messenger, a way for human intention to travel beyond the visible world and return with meaning. In the oldest traditions, tobacco was never a habit. It was a bridge, not something used to escape life, but something used to speak with it. Our ancestors knew breath as spirit itself, and smoke was breath-given form. When the leaf touched fire, it awakened. When guided by breath, it carried thought into the unseen. In that moment, intention became vapor, and prayer learned how to rise. It was never about getting high. It was about clarity, connection, making the invisible visible. That's the memory the leaf still carries. Radio Cigars.
Radio cigar. Radio cigar. Radio cigar. Radio cigar. Cigar.